Hey, folks, it's the end of the weekend. My name is Joe Crawford, and pretty much every day I go to CSSBattle.dev and do the daily target. That's what I'm about to do right now. Oh, ho, 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 ho. We got some curves galore. Hoo, 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 hoo. Oh, super fun. This one would be a really interesting corner shape and would be an interesting clip path with what would it be? Clip path with shape as the function, right? So clip path polygon is what you mostly see me do if you watch these videos. Shape occasionally, shape when it's very tricky. Today, what I'm going to go with is one I don't use very often, which is the quad template, which is 4 elements that are all mirrored of each other. So to do that, I'm going to remove this default gradient that I have in the code, which is on GitHub. And I'm going to say, we're going to start with a circle. So radial gradient the one we're working on is the top corner. So that is this section here. And everything that I do will be mirrored across the other 3 with the code that's here. Now, it's a little verbose. It's not the best for code golf, but I think it will let us attack this problem with 3 radial gradients, I think, and maybe a linear gradient. Maybe it's not very efficient, but we'll try it that way and we'll see how we go. Okay, first thing. So one Q at 100%, 100%, and we're gonna have this light color, 30 pixels, let's say, and then transparent. And then I'm going to put this dark color in the background for contrast. So there we see we've got the pieces of it, 3, 4, 5, boom. So that's what we made. We did the first part of that. So now we need to cover some stuff up. And I think we need another one of these circles. Yeah. So actually, what's funny, what do we need to do to fix that? I think we need to use this twice, which complicates things a little bit. So I'm going to say this is the yellow gradient, the light yellow. I'll just call it that. Flump, and we're going to var y. And we don't see anything y. I'm not sure. Oh, because you need actually, I'm not sure why. Var dash dash y, radial gradient 1q. Background. Oh, I've got something wrong. Var Y background. What am I doing wrong? This is where the real time thing of this happens. Red. Let's try super contrasting color. That is not working. There's red. Okay, so var Y is invalid. Why? Because dash dash Y colon space radial gradient open paren. Oh, that's why. Missing a comma. So this is the thing that I occasionally will talk about. CSS is a little bit brittle, right? All of those characters together, that's a lot of code. And if you remove the wrong one or add the wrong one, everything suddenly is missing. And that's can be very frustrating to debug. Now, the debugger tools in the browsers are much better, but be that as it may. There we go. All right, so let's fix this. Interestingly, I also have killed. Oh, that's the other error that I've made. So Y for yellow also happens to clobber the dash dash Y I'm already using. So very silly. G, we'll call it G, and then we'll use G for gradient. Okay. So I'm making so many great mistakes. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I am just a fallible human being. That's how it goes. All right. Let's move that thing over 100 pixels and then move it down 20 pixels, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75. Okay. So we just made that. And can we do another one? Oh, actually, funny enough. So this is what we get when we just do one. Let's do another. And we're going to move that one over. Minus 40 pixels. And we got nothing. Why? I'm not sure. Oh, not sure. Oh, so interesting. I keep making interesting errors that are, I'm not sure what they mean. The other thing that's tricky about this is that the yellow is very light, and so it tricks my eyes a little bit on this monitor 4. So that's working. If I do another var G, oh, ho, 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 ho. So this is what I did wrong. So see this guy? So that can't be part, not the way I'm doing it. So there we go. That's what I'm doing wrong. Var, okay, now var G, var. And again, really, oh, so I'm making every error today. Okay, there we go. All right. So this other one we put right in the middle of the quad. Now I'm going to move it over. Minus 10 pixels. 20. Nope, we want it to be positive 2. And then up a little, minus 5 pixels. And that nails it. That's great. All right, so now we're going to put that back. So to do the rest of this, well, we actually have, so I'm going to put red behind this because I know we don't want red. Okay. This is the agglomeration that we have so far, and we may not need the quad template, and that's fine. Let's now do the another radial gradient. And I think we only need one radial gradient. Boom. And that'll be 1Q at 50. It'll be at 50 pixels, 100%. And then this color, 20 pixels, and then transparent. And I'm missing a comma. There's the comma. All right, so you see it wants to be bigger, 30. And then we need to move it along a little bit. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 100, 110, 20. Okay. All right. So what do we need next? How about a conic gradient? Conic gradient. Which is this yellow, 75% around. And I put a period and not a comma. I'm just keep gunning myself here. And here's a missing comma. Boom. So, and then we're going to move that over. Oh, and worse, I've forgotten that we're in the quad template. So actually, we need a different kind of conic gradient, don't we? We just need, conic gradient from 90 degrees, this color, 25%, and then this yellow, 0. And that's pretty close. Not quite what we want, but it's close to what we want. I'm going to say at 50%, because that's what the actual numbers are. We need to be higher up, or are we too low? We're too high up. So 49, 47, 46, 45. How about we make it pixels, 100 pixels? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And then how about a little further over 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot of work. A lot of work for what we're trying to do. And this is way too much code. Minify, unit replace, submit. I think we can do much better. And this is, 614. We're 100% match. We've hit our goal. I just didn't realize that I didn't really need this quad template. I don't think. I think I can do the same thing if I steal all of these gradients. I'm going to steal them all. Background, background, background. All those gradients. Oh, and then do nested template. Clobber that. Whoops. Clobber that. And then put this on the body. And what do we got? Oh, and of course, I've cut and pasted and removed the variables. So again, I'm making every kind of error today, which is super fun. All right. So from the G to the usages of G to the end, cut nested template, cut this as well. I'm going to keep apparently invoking weird Safari menus. And we want to save this. Up above background, we want to clobber the width and height, which we don't need. And the extra background colon. Okay, so here's what we have. We got a mess, but a fun mess. Okay. Do I need any of that? I'm going to comment this out because clearly it's not doing what I want. I want var dash dash g. And I think that's exactly the circle that I want. I'm going to put the dark color in the background. And then I'm going to do the radial gradient that's, I'll do the second one now. And I want that to be, we want 4 of them. So let's put it 0, 0, 50%, 50%, and a comma. And does that work? It's very similar. It doesn't quite work, but you can see the same issues that we had with the quad template we're having here. So we can make adjustments here. Now we have to make different adjustments because we don't have 4 elements that are. So when we solve it, we need to solve it in all the places. So let's do that. So let's see. And again, I'm going to do the no repeat trick. Because I really, and I'm going to set these numbers to be actual numbers. Width 200 pixels, height 150 pixels. So we should have the same thing. Let's go 10 pixels over, 20 pixels over, and then -5 pixels. And then I'm going to set it to repeat. So less wide, right? 1, 6. And then let's move it over. 3, 4. That works great. We want it to be more tall, 1, 6. And then make this 0 or -10 pixels. And that does it. So those are the colors we've got so far. All right, now I want to steal that other radial gradient, this one here, click, comma. We're not doing so bad now. Let's clobber that. So there's our circle. Great. But we just need 2 of them. Right now, that is dead center. And I'll show you if I do a -100 pixels offset, and you'll see it. Great. And we don't need to worry about putting those. What do we don't need? We don't need to worry about putting those vertically. They only need to be horizontally. So we can ignore the background position Y and the background size Y dimension. So let's make this 200 pixels wide. And that's what we get if we do that. Let's say Okay, does that do it? Just slightly too far apart, right? So that means this is too wide, 1/8. And then let's move this over. Right now we're moving it. Oh, so interestingly, a 0, 0, 0 pix is valid. That surprises me a little bit because that's not really a valid number, but I guess it's ignoring the leading zeros for even though that's not valid. If I remove px, does it work? No, it's the same again. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's 10 pixels. Ooh, so we're still too wide. 1/6, and then what? 20, 30, 40. Boom. Okay. Now we want that conic gradient. And it's the conic gradient that I intended to do. And I'm going to do what? I think I used what? 58%, 70. And let's remove the comment. And we need to add a comma. Boom. Now we can move that guy over. And so the first color should be transparent. Ha ha ha. And 75%. And then this color like that. And I don't care about that from 90 degrees. I want to remove that. So there we go. And now let's move that over. 100 pixels and down 50 pixels. So there's, or creeping up on what we want. 50, 60, 70. The height needs to be more. So at, was like 50% and then 200 pixels, comma, too tall. 160, great. So that's what we've got now. We need to be a little narrower. Let's call it 100 pixels. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then move it over by 10 or 15. And now we got it. Okay, so that's how many gradients? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 radial gradients, 3 radial gradients. One of those gradients is repeated, and then a conic gradient. Let's submit and make sure we're 100%. And that's fine. Right? So yeah, far simpler than what I initially thought. And that's great. You know, we learn. And I made every error, right? I reused a variable, which had impact later. Cut and pasted wrong, missing comma when I cut some stuff out. Editing this stuff is difficult, but fun. You are not a computer. Use tools, of course, and linting tools are terrific for things like this. Although with complicated gradients, what I've found is most editors don't cope super well with the complexities of the gradient syntaxes. I don't know what to do about that, but hey, developers, if you're write good tools in the browser, write good tools in dev tools to let us modify conic gradients. And of course, if this were simpler, you could cut and you can click. I don't know. I actually think that these are complicated enough shapes that probably, even if we had good tools, and I know that people have built, Transformer and LLM related tools to attempt to solve some of these things, and they've made some headway, but I actually don't think that they do well, I won't get into it. I don't use any additional tools other than my GitHub plugins when I do these. So anyway, I will stay away from the boring conversation about the current state of software tools. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Go make a web page, and I'll see you around. Bye.